It's your girl, Sicarch.
DJ Sharkto.
And today we're here with another episode of Hate to Say.
Yes.
So I went to go see the movie premiere from the Urban World Film Festival of Night School. And let me just tell you, it's the funniest movie I think I've ever seen in my entire lifetime.
You sure about that?
Well, my memory is kind of trash, but from what I can remember, yeah.
Okay.
Like, the thing about it, right, when I was watching a movie, I was laughing so hard that I felt like I was going to throw up, and I was cheering at the same time, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. So, like, I usually don't have near-death experiences at movie theaters, so that's why I think this one might be the funniest movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
Okay. Is it better than Girls Trip?
So, for me, well, I guess because I'm a girl, but I was mad emotional watching Girls Trip. Like, it was funny, but I was sad. Like, I don't like the idea of people getting cheated on and embarrassed and hurt. Cause, like, I felt the pain through the movie, and then it also made me feel like, I don't know, just emotional too. Because I'm a blogger, and Queen Latifah, she was talking about trying to get a story so she can keep her website going. It just touched me, man. It really touched me. So as funny as it was, I was over there, like, really in my feelings watching that. So I can't really compare the two, even though it had the same director. Hello?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, you sure? We can pause.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, I'm gonna spoil it a little bit, low key, but not too crazy. Basically, I don't think the preview does it justice. Even though it's an amazing movie, honestly, looking at the previews itself, I wasn't really that interested in watching it. But when I watched it, it was the best movie ever. And the reason I say that is because the characters, they're very different from each other. So if you normally like the person who is woke, there's a character for that. If you like the person who is just, kind of out of this world, like loopy and ditzy, there's a character for that. Yeah. And then there are scenes in that movie where you just honestly feel bad for Kevin Hart. Like, really genuinely have pity, right? But then there's other scenes in there where people just do the dumbest things, like, without thinking, and that's what makes it funny, because they're just being themselves. And I think we all know somebody in our life that will remind you of a character that's actually on the movie.
Oh, okay. So it's relatable.
100% relatable, and I just feel like the boxing scene in the preview is so much funnier in the movie than what the preview shows, because the preview was just one punch. But what we're seeing is him getting, like, what do you call that thing again? I used to wrestle, like, play wrestling games, but I don't remember. When you flip somebody's body on their back?
Like a power driver or like a clothesline? I don't know. I don't remember the part in the trailer, if it's on the trailer.
Oh, no, I don't think they put it in the trailer. That's the crazy part about it. And to me, the best scenes in that movie was not really actually in the trailer. And that's what has me confused. Like, one punch does not suffice how funny that boxing scene is.
Sometimes it's a gift and a curse, because they want to hold back the jokes for the movie, so, like, the trailer will spoil too much. But sometimes if it's not funny in the trailer, people don't want to see the movie like that either. So I think they was banking on Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish to sell the movie without having to put too much jokes in it. You know what I mean? So that could be why.
That must have been what it was, because even when you see Kevin Hart in the chicken suit, there's a whole scene before that where Kevin Hart is freaking out, like, I'm not about to wear this chicken suit. Y'all over there praying about me wearing a chicken suit, and they all trying to sing Kumbaya and hold each other's hands, and then there's this woman with these big, massive, strong man hands trying to hold on to him, and he's like, nah, stop. What's wrong with you? Like, it's just, there's so many funny scenes, and they're just not there. But whatever, it's the funniest movie. It comes out 9/28/18. I can't really speak too much because I don't want to ruin it, but I think everybody should go watch it. I know everybody should go watch that.
So what would you give it out of 5?
I would give it a 7. I loved it that much.
Wait, he said a 7 out of 5.
7 out of 5. 7 out of 5.
Okay. You got me a little bit more excited than I was to see it. I wasn't a no versus see that though. I might even wait until like it hits like online or something. I wasn't no versus see the movie at all.
Well, I'll tell you, it's the same team that gave you Girls Trip and The Best Man.
Okay, that's a plus.
Yeah.
I like both movies.
Exactly, same team behind that, and like honestly, you wouldn't really think that. It's Will Packer and Malcolm Lee.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, their writing abilities is superb. And the characters in this movie, even though it's starring with Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart, there's also characters in there like Fat Joe that I don't think people really know about. Did you know Fat Joe was in it?
Yeah, I knew he was in it, but I didn't know what his character was. I know he was in it, yeah.
Oh, his character? Yo, I'm going to kill this one scene for y'all. So I'm telling you right now, it's a spoiler, and you just need to watch the movie. Because I'm not that funny, trust me. There's way more funnier scenes than what I'm about to tell you. Basically, I'm not going into detail because I don't want to kill it, but Fat Joe is in jail in this movie, and he plays a convict. Hilarious convict. So they're in night school, and he's in night school, and they're looking at him through a TV screen. So you could see what's going on in the jail while they're trying to learn, and vice versa. So when there are inmates trying to start some drama, the classmates can see it, and they can communicate to Fat Joe what's going on behind him. That's all I'm going to say. Funniest thing I ever seen in my entire life. Couldn't breathe. Can you imagine that? If you were in jail and somebody about to shank you and your classmates can watch it and tell you what's good? Like, funny.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. But definitely go check it out. I think Kevin Hart has been iffy for me as far as movies. I feel like he's been like none of his movies is really too bad recently, but it's not really that good either. It's almost like a certain line that he's at where Jumanji worked well, I would say that for the audience. But besides that, he's kind of been up and down with the movies, I think. So, but I still want to see it. Oh, and you got my interest up a little bit. So.
Oh, yeah. My job here is done. I digress.
So, Katt Williams versus Kevin Hart happened, where Katt Williams basically went on a radio station, and he started talking about his accolades and what he's been doing lately, and he started talking about how he felt like Tiffany Haddish has jumped over a lot of other black female comedians in the industry because of the one role in Girls Trip and her wanting to be with the white man. That's out of his mouth. And he feel like she's not really funny yet, that she's just the regular ratchet person, and she just hasn't toured or put the groundwork in to be at that pedestal. That was basically what his consensus was about her, and he felt like people under Kevin Hart, I forgot the names he mentioned, aren't that funny either. Like the person from Get Out, the TA agent, I forgot his real name. But
I know who you're talking about. The guy who's Rel now.
Yeah, he was in Uncle Joe too. He was in a couple movies. But he was saying that he's not really funny either. He's just ugly. He was just saying a bunch of things that some of it was true, some of it was really kind of hate. Honestly, some of it was really from a hating point. I'm not gonna lie. But that interview was hilarious because he actually starts going after the co-host, the radio host, and he starts roasting her he started killing her in that interview.
How'd she handle it?
She didn't handle it. Well, apparently she told her husband, and her husband pressed Katt Williams outside of the club. Like, that same week after that happened for coming at his wife the way he did. Yeah, it was a whole situation there. But she tried to handle it. She tried to come back, but she wasn't, come on, Katt Williams, he started for a while. Not start, but he was involved in that for a while. He know how to do all that back and forth jokes. She's not going to win no most possession with Katt Williams.
That's hilarious, bro.
Yeah, but, yeah, you gotta hear it. He told the woman, you sound fat over the radio. He was killing her. he was really killing her. It was one of the funniest clips I've seen this year. But to the main point about Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart went to the Breakfast Club, and Kevin Hart, this is after they met at the Emmys apparently, and Katt Williams and Tiffany Haddish like mended their differences or whatever it was, and I guess Katt Williams apologized and got on his knees for the picture or whatever. It was a little extra, but it was still somewhat, I guess, of an apology. Tiffany Haddish was taking the high road in the interview, saying, she didn't want to feed into the hate anyway. She knows she's going to receive it as she got bigger in her career. Kevin Hart, he hated it. He was like, don't try to hate on people who started from the bottom in our industry of color and bring them down. You're just mad at yourself because you was in my spot at one point. You had the chance, and you blew your own chance. And now you're in a position where you could bring other people you could bring other black comedians up to a higher level, and you don't do it. And he was talking about, he was really talking to Katt Williams. He was talking about, these ticket sales and these numbers that you said that you have is false, and the way you say things work out through Netflix was false, and how he said you're talented. He's like, you're talented, obviously you're funny, but your business is not right. People can't trust you. You went through drugs. You had a bunch of felony charges and bunch of, whatever. And you shouldn't bring somebody else down in the culture who's really trying to make it out here. Like, what's the point of bringing them down? You can bring me down all you want because I'm bulletproof. I've been through this. I'm already where I'm at. But don't try to bring down somebody on the rise, trying to make, all another black person on the rise in the comedy world, try to make all the income possible. So, and on the short form, that's what Kevin Hart was talking about. He was like for 30 minutes out of 45 minutes, he's going at Katt Williams in that interview, honestly.
Wow.
So, yeah. So that was kind of the breakdown of it. And I think it's weird. I think from an online response I've seen from it, I feel like people don't think Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart right now are that funny. Honestly, I don't think they think that they're Kevin Hart especially, that they're really in the prime of his comedy career as far as being actually funny. And just business-wise, he took it to a whole other level, like you said, like with the Night School movie, like with all the movie roles she's doing. But, so people want to say that Katt Williams and Mike Epps was funnier, but Kevin Hart got his business right, and that's what it comes down to. You can be the best rappers in the world that aren't the richest rappers in the world. You know what I mean? You gotta have your business right, and you gotta have that trust in the industry. And Katt Williams is going to jail back and forth. So what Kevin Hart was saying was right. You lost your trust, you lost your chance, and now you're just trying to hate and bring other people down unfairly. So.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. That's a little bit true because I understand where Katt Williams is coming from, but at the same time, that really is legitimate hate because that means you have the time to look at somebody else's career, figure out where they started, figure out where they ended up, and say to yourself, you don't deserve that. But the funny part about it is if she didn't deserve it, she wouldn't have it. Like, everybody who is where they are right now, I always say this, they are there for a reason. They did something. I don't care if they only posted once on social media and somebody else posts 1,000 times before they get recognized. That means that one post went up at the right time and it was the right type of funny for that moment. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, Girls Trip was really funny, especially the grapefruit scene, even though there were scenes overall where I was mad emotional. The grapefruit scene had me dying. You know what I mean? And, like, they casted for it. She got the role. She played it out. So she deserved the attention she got. Katt Williams
discredited her for that movie, too. He was saying how she didn't write the role. That's like what he said. She didn't write the role. She only played in it. And she got the part. And she played in it with two of our biggest black actresses that we've had in history, with Jada Pinkett and Queen Latifah. Yeah, Queen Latifah. So she was like that. She got lucky with that role, even. Like, he was trying to downgrade that, too, by the way, so.
But that's the funny part about it, because to be honest with you, that actually shows how great she is to get cast with veterans in the game. Like,
yeah, and still prove it, and still have a role that good in the movie that you got a whole career, not a whole career out of it, but that role changed your whole career going forward, so.
exactly, and honestly, that's the whole point of having casting and actors. Not everybody can act. Acting is not easy. Like, you have to have a certain type of skill to get certain positions and to do it well.
For sure.
Whether you wrote it or not, you know. If that was the case, then
Exactly.
every director would be an actor, and every actor would have some directing talent and writing abilities.
Exactly. Casting and playing out the role is important. Her playing out her role helped that movie success, period. Cut and dry. It is what it is. But to Kevin Hart's point, the black comedy world, there's only a few of them that actually make it to that high level. So don't try to bring them down while they're there, at least. The fans can hate, the fans can feel how they feel somebody's not funny, whatever. But don't try to bring them down. Then don't other peers of themselves try to bring them down when there's only very few at a time that make it in the industry. There's only very few of them. There's only been like how many black female comedians has really been to that level? There's only been a few in the past 10 to 15 years. So you don't try to bring them down once they're there. That was Kevin Hart's point, and I agree with him there for sure.
I agree with him as well. I also believe that, in all honesty, the best way to get even, if you really feel some type of way, is to put some decent work out. Like, whether you've been to jail, whether you suck with other things related to business or not, he could still be doing comedy stuff, which we all know he's good at.
He's still touring. He's still touring. I don't know about his stuff. He said that he has specials coming out on Netflix too. But
he needs to go harder. I'm so sorry.
He's still touring and stuff like that. I feel like I think he just felt like he's not accepted anymore. So Kevin Hart basically said that he's not accepted anymore, so he's mad with himself, which the hate came to Tiffany and the rest of the people that he was mentioning in that interview. But it is what it is. I feel like he kind of challenged Kevin Hart to have like some type of comedy off or something like that in Philly, because I think Katt wanted to perform in Philly. He had a whole video about that, I believe, the other day or yesterday. So I don't know what's gonna go with that. Probably ain't gonna go too far, but it is what it is. Katt Williams, he did have a shot, and he's still funny. He still has his funny moments, like in that interview. But don't hate on a person that's number one because it's number one. So.
Right. I just feel like when you're funny, like, can't nobody take that away from you. Like, just do some skits. That's what everybody's doing. I don't know what's wrong with him. He be on social media. You know what it is.
Yeah, he could do a lot. Katt could definitely do a lot more to rebuild his brand for sure. Because he still got talent there. So he could. But right. I don't know.
Well,